What is up, everyone? This will be my Rek'sai jungle video, and I'm back from being very sick, so I'm going to be uploading videos a lot more now. And this one's going to be Rek'sai jungle, a champion that I really have been playing a lot more of recently with this new build that I find to be very strong. And we're going to be playing in 200 LP Masters, and I think Rek'sai jungle can be good. The most important thing is Ghostblade first item is very strong. It's also very OP as an item itself. And for Rek'sai, I've been going Ghostblade into Stride Breaker to great success. And you're going to see it in this game that I'm going to show you guys how to make it work. So for Rek'sai jungle, if you want to start a jungle camp, start red or blue solo, play for either a level 3 gank or a full clear. In this meta, it's actually okay to be like a full clear jungler. Even when you're playing like a ganking jungler. For example, like Rek'sai, you might not want to, AFK farm, but sometimes it's actually okay to just kind of focus on your farm a lot more just because of the meta. So here's her abilities are very straightforward. Her auto attack is her Q is an auto attack reset. So as you can see, I'm always kind of using it right after my champion attacks. It's just good overall. Here you can just kind of Q twice and then move on to the next camp. Your Q in burrowed form is a torpedo effect, and it will drag the jungle camps towards you. So you always want to use that. That's usually your first thing you're going to be using, is that sort of jungle effect. So here, obviously, the enemy team Echo knows, where exactly I am. But because I have a lot of mid priority, what I'm going to do is actually just check Echo's jungle camp, see if he started, red side, see if I can maybe, catch him here on potentially his blue. So here his blue's up. Bot lane is fighting pretty hard, so what we're going to do is just, move in for the kill here. The reason why I emphasize sort of like on a level, aggressive play here is because I just want to play aggressive if I have priority in my lanes. That's a little weird interaction that can occur. Is actually pretty much what you just saw there is silences will make you so you can't knock people up. It's just a weird interaction. But overall, I want to play aggressive because level 3, I have relatively good priority in my lanes. And I want to emphasize on that. I want to make sure I kind of utilize that as much as possible. Echo could have reacted by going into my top side here. So I always think about that as an option. And also mid priority is the most important thing when you're playing a champion like Rek'sai jungle. Because mid priority sort of is the enabler that lets you do pretty much everything on the map. So here I'm going to Umbrella, check my camps. Okay, and then I'm just going to start my blue buff first. Because I checked my camp and I know Echo, my jungle camps are alive, it pretty much tells me Echo's not here. And Echo's actually on bot crab right now. So what you want to do is actually ping bot crab and let your team know, okay, Echo jungle is there. Do not get baited. Do not fall for that. Do not steal my crab, Nunu. And from here, we just want to focus on farming. So Nunu mid, a very weird champion. I mean, he can do well. The good thing about Nunu mid is his ability to push waves is really fast. So he has that advantage. So here we see the Echo making that sort of play around there. And based off all the information we have, we can actually kind of dissect his, his jungle path. Like now we kind of know exactly how his path is. So we can kind of make these sort of adjustments based off that. Now the enemy team is playing really aggressive around that sort of angle. What I'm going to do is actually just rotate here and come bot. With Nunu, it would be ideal, but without Nunu, we could potentially still make a play here. I just think if they dive hard here, maybe I can catch someone off the return. Like this rocket, perhaps. It should be a kill if we get one more hit. Unfortunately, I missed the Q on Soraka. That was my mistake. I could have angled that Q much better. But overall, we just want to farm and just focus on our jungle clear here. Not much else is really going to be a big deal for you besides you get these angles, I would say windows where you're going to be playing really aggressive, you're going to be playing to kill. And then you're going to get these windows where you're going to be farming, right? So now I am in a window where I'm going to be farming. But also I kind of want to, maybe look for something, right? And a great lane to do something is a lane that's, really aggressive. And potentially Soloq might come here to just clear out vision or something like that. Maybe we can easily go on Pantheon, who's obviously, aggressive in that way. Here, I personally don't think we need to do all that much for this kill. I think Echo will just, kind of show us that he's willing to walk here. So what we're going to do is just go on to him here. Might kill him. Ooh, he juked it last second. I'm going to finish up the camps here. Echo is most likely going topside, so I'm just going to steal his second respawn here. Unable to get the kill, it's okay. Just farm up now. I'm going to take his jungle. He could potentially rotate and go all the way into my top side to steal my jungle, but realistically, I'm okay with that situation just because I'm on boss side, crab side. So we're going to easily get a crab here, and that's going to give us 6. And from here, with a new mid, giving us like perma priority, we can just, force heavy fights here. Or we could do the dragon if he's, emphasizing on it too. You can see the echoes sort of playing around that potential, my Gromp, my wolves. When I'm able to get a lot of value, the Dirk buy is just really strong. It gives us a lot of damage. We're able to kind of get a lot of power going with the Dirk buy. Here you can see me burrowing a lot. Just because you can get like a regen tick every time you burrow, you can sometimes get 2 ticks of your regen. The most you can get is 3, so if you can get like 2, it's really good. Personally, I think this is like a really good angle if we can just get a nice little fast kill here. And E is just a high burst single target nuke. It does more damage when the bull, like your rage bar is red. So just remember that. So it will deal more in that situation. Otherwise, it's going to do like just a certain amount of damage. Here I'm going to base because, well, we have our Ghostblade. So once I get my Ghostblade by, I'm pretty much enabled to just be a really powerful champion here. I really emphasize a lot on this buy. This item is really overtuned. It's really OP. The only reason I think Rek'sai is even remotely good right now is because you can build this item, then you can go into like, Stridebreaker or Titanic. I really like Stridebreaker. I just think having the ability to like slow people, movement speed effects is really powerful. Here I like to check which camps are up right now. And from here we can look to see if, potentially if he's on there. He is on there, but that set's on there. So I need to go on, potentially this guy before I can actually go on. Here I just want to kind of chunk him here. Now I'm just kind of kiting a bit. And I'm able to kind of get the burst combo there, which is really nice. So you can see how, like, I'm really... Because I didn't initially use my tunnel to go in, I'm able to kind of use the tunnel to get out. And then once I use the tunnel to get out, because I've already hit Pantheon a few times before that, I have my ulti ready to go. It has 5 seconds on which you can, decide to ulti someone that you recently damaged. And I was able to just use that to go back in, re-burrow, to get the knock up. And after you ulti someone, there is a bit of a delay before you can re-burrow, so you can always get like a Q off beforehand. That's what I utilize. We can see the power of once you have that Ghostblade. Not only are you able to use the active and passive to be really fast, you're also able to kind of just utilize just a lot of the value in general from it. And without ultimate, I am a little more hesitant to force, right? I don't want to really force too much fights without, specific abilities. Enemy team is pretty much all like AD armor, so I'm just going to go this. Because I'm going Stridebreaker and I could buy a dagger. I haven't really been buying as many pinks. I buy like 1 or 2. For you guys, don't really buy pinks unless you know how to utilize them. There just isn't really, like, everything is just a lot of fights on the map, so really aren't playing too hard on, singular positions as much as before. And here, I do want to be, playing aggressive. I want to fight. I want ball lane fight. I think a fight here is just going to be really good for us. So what we're going to do is just look for the E in with the Ghostblade. I'm probably just going to go on Echo first. And then I can just go on him. E, ulti. I'm able to kind of get that going. I do have my E up, so this should be a pretty easy kill if I wanted to. And what you see there is, if you try to knock them up, but they've recently been knocked up, there is like that whole delay where it's like, it's not going to knock them up. It's just going to deal damage, right? So you do have to remember That little circle indicator, you have to pay attention because it's pretty long in fights. You're not going to be able to knock up anyone until like 8 to 10 seconds, right? So once you knock up one person, burrow and unburrowing isn't going to give you much value. So you're just trying to kill them on top of them. Pantheon's probably heading there. I don't really want to do anything here. I like to set up a tunnel from raptors to go this way. I like to set up tunnels like this between camps. That's always the most important thing, is setting up your tunnels between camps. You don't have to have too many. Depends on how I am, playing the game. But you eventually do run out of space. You can only have 8 tunnels at a time. So realistically, you want to have like 3. Like you want to have like 5 to 6 of them just on your map like presence to be able to get to positions better, quicker. Set Stridebreaker by. He is a bit, beefy. I could kill with him best as I could. Maybe not. I'm just gonna check Echo Camp Cycle. Pantheon's pretty squishy. I could probably one-shot him. Only issue with Pantheon is, right, he can just press his E ability. That may be an issue. Thing is, if he just goes on me, I can just chunk him a bit before I have to even fight him. Not really committing to anything. I'm just chunking him out. Not because his E is down, he's actually a very easy target to go on. I think I went way too soon. Now Nunu can't get him. See how I like auto a couple times, and I'm actually using my ulti to engage in that situation, because your ultimate is an engage ability, because you can just burrow and knock them up right after. Here you can always retake position tunnels. That will help you very well with catching up, And here you just focus around objectives. My team has good priority. We have a Nunu who's perma roaming. Whenever you have like a mid champion who is very active with you, you're gonna do a really good job in your game. Like if I pick Rek'sai, I always want like an aggressive mid or someone who can get a lot of priority, who can help me with like, set up kills. For example, Zoe mid, Vex mid. Usually AP champions, because Rek'sai does all AD. You don't want to have too much AD in your comp. And it's like Zoe, Vex are like 2 examples of really, really good mids to have in your champion pool. Here I'm going to Ghostblade early, just so we can actually get the first tower here. Very nicely done. And your goal to get the Stridebreaker, but obviously once you have like just a Ghostblade by, you're really, really, really powerful. And this game is, the example is just like you're able to go everywhere and be really fast. Because there's so much fighting, there's so much stuff happening. Movement speed is really powerful in my opinion. As a jungler, it just really is powerful. And a lot of champions I feel like are really fast too. So it does feel like you're in the situation where you just have to be really fast on a melee champion like Rek'sai to even, to have any sort of difference in the game, you have to be really quick. And that's just like how I see it in this game. I could base, I could buy something, but honestly, this game is like, I'm doing really well. So I'm just kind of greedy. I'm just going to keep, just until I have my Stridebreaker, I'm just going to be a really greedy player right now. I don't know about this fight. My team is doing pretty well, so they probably should have it under control. But overall, I'm just going to keep farming until there's like a really obvious situation. Here, I do think we can just kill without... Here now I have to worry about him being able to kill me, so I have to just kind of buy some time. I don't have enough money to kill him without actually influencing. But I am close to the, the item we were talking about. So once I get Stridebreaker, it's going to be a bit of a different situation, right? This game, a lot of it is actually levels too. Like you have to worry about levels a lot. What I've come to know is the most important thing is levels. What level your champion is. Because levels are so powerful. the amount of stats you get from just being a higher level than your opponent is extremely high, right? Like this guy being level 12, he's naturally ahead of the curve. He's so much powerful. This is a short Rek'sai video, but that's jungle Rek'sai for you. Hope you guys like the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna be uploading a lot more videos now, so good luck on the game, good luck on the climb, and I'll see you guys in the next video.